We are back. After God knows how long, we are actually back. Wearing the MF Doom mask here. Yeah, let me take this shit off. This is not gonna work. Oh my god.
Besides from looking like a dumbass.
Aside from that, it felt good.
Felt great, yeah.
What's up, Brian? How are you, my friend?
What is up, my boy, Julius? Cheers, my
Cheers,
brother.
my friend. Cheers. You got your Sprite, I got my kombucha.
You got your Nova. You got your... Oh my god! What the...
Did you hear that?
Oh man, that was a great intro.
It felt good. It felt good. This is the first podcast that I have recorded, like new podcast for this channel, that I've recorded this year.
Feels great, man.
It feels great. Yeah. Let's get drunk. I'm so ready. For those who don't know, I am Julius of the Goat Movie Podcast. If you actually listen to the podcasts on the channel, you might know this other voice on my other end. His name is Brian.
Yes, hello.
Karate Brian.
Karate Brian.
How you doing, man? I'm
doing well. I'm glad to come back to the opening. This is your first official
the reintroduction.
Video. Oh my god, this is horrible.
It's awful.
It's awful. But no,
and it will be the last one.
That's it.
So you've been on some of the podcasts that I've been re-uploading this year.
Yes.
Such as for example, the Suicide Squad one we did like last year, actually, in preparation.
It's sad. I fell asleep to that one last night. I was listening to it and I was like, oh shit, I sound awful.
Well, how do you feel now, a year after not podcasting?
It's weird because I would have said if I didn't because over the span of the whole year, I've actually been growing. So I actually have a band now. And besides from working on my voice for that, if I didn't do that, then I would have felt weird. But now I felt a little bit more natural to speak and clarify more, since I do have to sing on a regular basis and for practice.
Right. Well, use your voice and speak up, bro.
Oh my god. I gotta use my voice yet again louder. This motherfucker's mic cannot stand me.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. We're using one microphone right now because of I lost the cord, the cord to the other Blue Yeti that I have.
Nice.
So I just ordered another one.
Here at the Go Movie Podcast with our professional.
We're unprepared. But we will have two different mics the next time we do this. For those who don't know, on this episode of Ignore This Podcast, we're going to have maybe weekly, maybe bi-weekly, different people on, joining me, talking about topics, talking about all sorts of stuff. As I told you elegantly before recording, shooting the shit.
Oh yeah.
Shooting the shit.
We're saying anything and everything.
Anything.
So get ready.
Yeah, because Brian has a lot to say.
Oh yes, I do.
A lot of things that are wrong to say.
Shut up.
Just the wrong things to say. But I'm glad to start this mini series. I don't even know if I'm going to keep doing this after this year. Who knows?
After this,
if I survive through this year, who knows? But I'm glad you're the first person.
Can we make it to 100 dislikes on this one video?
We won't see them anyway, because as you said once wisely, YouTube hates YouTube.
YouTube does hate YouTube.
It does.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're aiming for YouTube for this video, for this podcast, but might as well, right?
Might as well, yeah. There's a lot more monetary.
Yeah.
It's sad. There's more monetary value in YouTube than there is in Spotify.
What about cryptocurrency?
You shut up right there.
Matt Damon. You didn't get sold on cryptocurrency from Matt Damon in the movie theater? I thought that shit was The Martian too, dude. Honestly.
No, I know. I know what trailer you're talking about.
When he's just walking.
No, yeah. I thought it was cool. But you know what? I've seen everyone get into crypto in my family, like my uncle.
Oh, really?
My dad, my other uncle from Georgia, and then a couple other family members.
They're getting into cryptocurrency.
Yeah, they're getting into crypto. And even Libby, my mom, she's trying to get into it. But the thing is, she's not, because she doesn't know how it works.
No one knows how it works.
No one knows how it works. I kind of somewhat know. I don't want to go into it, because I don't know if you saw recently.
What?
But there's this whole thing that cryptocurrency, or at least one of the cryptos, literally fell I think it was by 100 or 110%.
100 points or
no, I forgot what it is. In the stock market ranges,
stock.
and
okay.
in less than one whole day, and it was the worst thing in monetary value system and stuff like that. But
really?
I forgot which cryptocurrency it was, but it was just instant. in a 1-day span.
Was it the Dogecoin?
Actually, ironically, Dogecoin is on a medium income level right now. The only reason why I know is that my mom's ex has Dogecoin, and he's telling me that it's like pretty good and pretty bad at the same time. But every time when Elon Musk tweets, they get like an up vote for something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I'm not the guy to talk about the stock market. Sebastian is. Sebastian is the stock man.
No, his turtles know. His turtles know more.
He knows more than I think actual stock brokers.
Oh, he definitely does.
About the stock market, you know what I mean? Like I've started going to this past year. I've started going to the gym with Sebastian.
Getting those gains.
Failing.
Trying. I can see.
Terribly so. It's awful right now. But whenever we actually talk, because, you know, we both like to listen to the music and everything in our ears and all that when we're on the treadmill or lifting something. I've actually not listened to an Arnold speech yet there, and that's his gym, but I plan to. But you know, Sebastian will be listening to the politic podcasts and everything, stock podcasts, like, Sam Cedar.
He can't even enjoy music.
No, well, he'll listen to Weezer, you know.
All right, he can't even enjoy real music.
He'll listen to Weezer while he's wheezing, trying to lift. The first day we went was awful.
It was awful
because we were trying to hit the ground running. You know what I mean?
Were you doing back squats?
We're doing everything. We're doing everything, and I could barely. By the time I left, I could barely drive. Like I could barely move the steering wheel.
You know, funny enough, when I went to the gym at UCLA with my friend Kyle, you remember Kyle, ginger kid who was at my at my graduation party?
I don't. Yes.
So
the
Kyle,
Hellspawn.
Yeah. So Kyle was like, "Oh, let's go to the gym. Let's go to the gym."
Right.
All right, cool. So we woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. We hit up everything. It's like, oh, we got to do cardio. I'm like, all right, cool. I mean, I walk every day, so
yeah,
this is going to be fine. And then he was like, all right, cool. Let's hit our backs. And I forgot what it is. I don't know if it's a back squat, but the bell bar where you put on your back and you're supposed to bend down.
Yeah.
So I did that.
Yes.
He looked at me and said, Brian, you're doing it wrong. I'm like, well, I can't go further. And he's like, well, if you don't go further, you're hitting your neck. So I did a couple squats on my neck with a heavy bell bar that was like 45 pounds on each side. Yeah. And I was like, all right, I'm good. I mean, it's just my neck. I'm chill. I kid you not. I felt like I died for the entire week. Like, I couldn't sit up. My neck hurt so bad. I literally had a fever.
Yeah.
Like, in 2 days. And my mom was like...
fever?
Yeah, I had a fever. I literally got so ill and so sick because I did so much weight on my neck.
Oh, my God. I didn't know that could happen. Man, perils of being at the gym.
Dude, it was insane. And so now I know... I can't work out my back. I can work out any other part of my body, but my back is impossible because my arm can't reach that back.
Well, the thing is, Brian, you are a magnet to sickness already. Like, you can't get vaccines. You can't... I mean, you can get COVID, but it will destroy you. Yeah. Going to the gym.
Going to the gym
will destroy you.
Me.
Kill you. Like, I never heard of that ever. You know, working so... God, now I'm scared going on tomorrow. Going with Sebastian.
Oh my God!
It's like I'm just thinking of the rule of being in the zombie apocalypse, right? The main rule is being faster than the guy you're next to.
Yeah. And
now I'm thinking, at the gym, the main rule is not lifting as much as Sebastian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To survive.
To survive, yeah.
It's gonna get sickness.
Oh my God.
Sickness and health. But yeah, so for those who don't know, clearly this is the Goat Movie Podcast's first freeform conversation podcast. First of this year, at least.
First of this year. First unorganized podcast.
Yeah, and that's fine. It's like what Kevin Smith said about his films. It's like, my style is that I don't have any style. I don't have quality. That's the quality. You know what I mean?
That's the quality, yeah.
And that's fine. You know, the point of this is just to hang out, talk to people. Sometimes we'll have some topics. You know, I wanted to do this months before, around the time when the that whole Dave Chappelle thing happened with him being attacked.
With him being attacked
on the stage. You know, I
wanted
wanted
to talk to him up stage. It's like, was that Will Smith?
Was that Will Smith? Because that is just such an odd thing. And I've seen some videos. I actually watched last night some videos of comedians being attacked like by copycats, but it didn't become as hereditary as I thought it would become. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not many more instances of that have happened.
Yeah, I imagine so, because like I feel like it's weird. Like, I don't know. Because even watching the video with Dave Chappelle and him being attacked, I felt like it was like I understand, like, shows and stuff like that where, like, people will go on stage and, like, attack someone. And, like you can't have a bouncer who's, like, automatically there because, like, it's interrupting the performance. But, like, it's just a person on stage. So, like, I would imagine that almost everyone's attention is, like, trying to, like, focus not on the performance, but more or less on, like, ensuring the safety of that person. So I thought it was just weird that person just like got on stage, ran out, and then just fucking took out Dave Chappelle.
Well, have you been to the Hollywood Bowl?
One time.
I mean, that area specifically, where he's in I was about to say the mosh, but that's not really what it is. It's like the area, the seating area that costs more because there are actual like not sofas, but better seating, tables and everything.
Sittable seats, actual seats.
Sittable seats, not benches, you know? And when you get up there,
not concrete floors.
They're not going to have like bars or something to interrupt the performance, you know what I mean? Now maybe they will. I don't know. Maybe. I haven't been there in years, but I mean, you can just jump up there. They have a little pathway, like a circular pathway that interrupts the seating. Like that the performer can walk along. So on both sides of the pathway are people, people below sitting. You know what I mean? They do that a lot for concerts, and I guess comedians can also do it.
Interesting.
But it's a stylistic aspect. But now maybe they're just going to be like, no, you know what? This is not going to assassinating fools up in here, you know what I mean?
I like to imagine JFK performing stage comedy, right?
And then this next joke is really going to blow your mind.
I have two gay dads. Why two gay foster dads?
Did you know that Marilyn is a Hispanic?
Which she called me senorita.
Senor. That's what she called me. I heard that last night, apparently, from a friend of ours, Andrew, that apparently Marilyn
Monroe is Hispanic.
Yeah.
Oh, that actually kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
I never thought of it. Yeah. I never knew that. Yeah. I didn't know.
You know, if that's true, you know what kind of does remind me of?
What?
For all you history people, it kind of reminds me of, what's her name? The woman who was Pocahontas and stuff, and how, like...
The real
Pocahontas, yeah. Right. And when she transversed back to England, going with Jon Snow and the other Europeans. And
did you say Jon Snow?
No, not Jon Snow.
Isn't that a Game of Thrones?
I know, yeah.
Oh, my
what's
God.
his name? John Wolfe?
John Henry?
John Henry. No, I forgot his name. It's John something. But no.
John Walker.
John Walker?
No, I'm just messing around.
Be quiet. But no, when she went back to Europe, when she went to Europe and she brought the rest of her people over there, I don't know if you've seen this, but there's like actual photos and like not photography, but like paintings of like Native Americans who bleach their skin or put on a lot of white makeup so they can look more European while at England and stuff like that.
So they could be safer or just blend in?
Safer and blend in. So like if that was with Marilyn Monroe's case, maybe she did like do a lot of makeup to like make herself more famous. Because I do remember, like, I don't know if you know, like in early 50s, like a lot of Hispanic and Latino actors and stuff like that. Freddie Prinze Sr., you know, like they would try to whiten up their skin and stuff. Did
they?
That.
They tried to lighten up.
They tried to lighten up a little.
I mean, I guess back then that was the only way he'd get on camera.
Yeah.
Or maybe she just didn't have that melanin.
Who knows? Yeah. I mean, look at me.
Maybe.
Dude, look at me, man. I'm more Hispanic than you. My God. Dude.
Wait, what did you just say? How dare you? How dare you?
You're Canadian.
I'm part.
You're half.
A little bit. Immigrants on both sides, okay? Okay? That's what that
both
is.
sides of the equator, the north and the south.
Don't make me put on my MF Doom mask again, alright?
Please don't. It's going to mess up with the audio.
Yeah, but so, so you've just been working on music as of this last year.
Yeah, music and then I guess my research stuff for my school. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, so what kind of music is it? Is it a pop? I know this stuff, but it's for the listeners.
No,
is
yeah,
it a
of
pop? Is it a hip hop? Is it a? Are you MC Chris now? I mean,
yes, I am Ice Ice. I'm Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice.
Reincarnated. He's not dead, but I'll kill him.
I'll feast on his soul.
No, for the audience, I am a singer / band manager for a metal / rock band. Right now, we don't really have any real congruent members. We have 3 members who are like, we are
that like the core.
Yeah,
right?
like the core. Yeah, like it's me, my friend Yasi, who's our main guitarist, and then my friend Unique, who is our rhythmist. We have other people who are like bassists and drummers, but they're kind of like, we're side people, and they have other bands and other projects.
Right.
So it's just us 3, and we perform when we can. We practice when we can, and we try and make music when we can. So as long as we can try, we do it and stuff like that. Sometimes we have really busy schedules. So one of our members right now is really busy at work, so we can't really practice during this month.
Right.
But next month we'll see, and then hopefully for future shows we'll do it. But yeah, our music ranges from any kind of genre of rock and metal. And what's interesting about us is that every single one of us likes a different genre, and we try and implement that into our music. So I like a lot of banda and indie, new metal type.
Elevator music.
Yeah. Shut up.
Music.
So I like new metal, and I like banda music, so I kind of implement that into my writing music, try and make it seem like my style, where it's both genres mixing together, which sounds weird, but I think it sounds nice. My friend Yasi, she loves heavy metal, so Pantera, Metallica, she's all about that. My friend Unique, he's very jazz, so he plays a lot of freeform jazz and likes country-esque rock, so he'll implement that into his other music. And then the other band members, they like punk, indie, so I try and make sure we have a very vocal, different variety range.
So you're a melting pot of a band.
I'm a melting pot of a band.
That's interesting. A lot of iconic bands, when it comes to music in general, a lot of them, say Metallica or even a Stevie Nicks or something, or Steely Dan. A lot of their sounds are very specific, but I'm always surprised when I hear their inspirations and the types of music they listen to, and it's always different. You know what I mean? Some hip hop guys will listen to some soul stuff or some country even. You know what I mean? And it feeds into their whole process of making their music, and it's really fascinating.
I forgot. There was this one interview with the singer of Slipknot, Corey Taylor, and he was with I think it was Howard Stern or someone else. And they asked him what was his inspiration and stuff like that. And they were making fun of him because they didn't see him as a guy who liked classical. So they're do you like Beethoven? Do you like this? Do you like Bach? And he was like, oh yeah, I love that and stuff like that. And he was bringing up other people. He was like, I love Giovanni and stuff like that. I love all these other classical composers, and I love listening to that music.
Yeah.
And I share that with my kids, and then it just shocked them because they're like, how could a guy with a mask singing about shoving shit into my own eyes like classical music? Because just music is music, and it's really interesting.
Yeah.
And I think people will be really surprised when they ask me what I like to listen to.
Yeah.
On stage. They're like, so a lot of your music's about killing yourself and destroying the world. Who's your inspirations? Oh,
society.
Society. I like German folk music and banda and
I like the anything with an accordion.
Anything with an accordion.
Polka.
No, for real, polka is really good. I think people should listen to more polka.
Well, I guess the mainstream, the guy who made polka somewhat mainstream is probably Weird Al.
Yeah, Weird Al, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's interesting polka, but that's I forgot what the terminology is. I think on Spotify they call it comedy genre for music.
Yeah, absolutely. Because he's parody, for sure. But he's still really talented.
Yeah, it's still good. I think comedy music is great. Look at Tenacious D,
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of their songs are amazing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the songs that they do are very serious,
Yeah.
Even though they're kind of satirizing a lot of the tropes of music, especially with the way that Jack Black sings. He's parroting a lot of, the methods in which singers go by. But what's that one song that he did? Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy,
yeah.
Wonder Boy. Like, that's a really emotional song, man. It's really good.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually really good. Surprisingly.
No, yeah. I was going to also say, I don't know if you listen on the Pick of Destiny album, but what is that? I think it's The Government Totally Sucks. That's also a pretty good song. That's like, even though it is funny.
That album is great.
No, that's a great album. I love, The Metal. I think that's my favorite song.
Mm-hmm.
And then, definitely...
Beelzebub.
I like Beelzebub, yeah. I like Beelzebub. That's pretty cool. But no, I think The Metal and, Kickapoo. I think those are my two favorite songs.
Yeah, and you gotta bring up Classico.
Oh, yeah, Classico.
That one is just...
Could you see?
that song is a masterpiece. I'm almost regretful that Jacob's not here for this conversation, because he loves Pick of Destiny. Him and Lynn were actually talking recently about watching Pick of Destiny.
Ooh, I would love to do that with y'all.
Yeah, well, perfect. I don't
do one.
I don't think Justin has watched it,
Ooh,
which
really?
is why they want to
Oh,
watch
wow.
the film.
Yeah, we should definitely do that.
Yeah, that would be really great, because that movie's, if anything else, if nothing else, it's funny, at least, and the music's great.
Oh yeah,
it
is.
I would want. Well, you know what? I don't know, because I was about to say, I wonder what they would be able to do with, like, if they were assigned with a serious soundtrack, like a serious rock soundtrack, in the way that Daft Punk got on the Tron Legacy soundtrack.
Oh yeah,
and they did something that was very Daft Punk.
Yeah,
but also mix of classical.
My name
music.
is Giovanni Giorgio. People call me Giorgio. I didn't know that they made that song, and I heard it recently. I'm like, this is hilarious.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned the way that stars in music, everywhere, honestly, are perceived versus who they are. Because I was reminded of Dee Snider from Twisted Sister, and how he went up to Congress, and he went. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have seen that video was it Loudwire or something like that?
Yeah, he went up to Congress to talk about censorship in music, and he came in dressed, crazy, the hair, the cut off sleeves and everything. He came in tactically
ready for a music video.
Yeah, really, and no one was taking him seriously.
Surprised the judge didn't strip.
They should have. C-SPAN wouldn't allow it. But they
Fox.
He came in like that on purpose to kind of disarm the panel, so they wouldn't take him seriously. But then when he started speaking about censorship, about his albums, about music in general, he came in very educated, articulate. He was he was smart about it, and everyone was just like, oh, we're not ready. So he did that to prove his point even more so, which is true. It's music. It's not. This ain't the era of the music authority or the comics code. It's just it's art. You know what I mean?
And art, and to that argument and stuff like that, art it can be perceived differently, and people can take in art differently and like and dislike art.
Of course,
but they should never censor art.
No. No.
Censoring art is dumb, because it's like, or censoring anything, I feel in a certain degree is a bit weird, because it's like, even though you may not like it, other people might like it, and who cares if you don't like it, and who cares if you do like it, I forgot which comedian brought up, it's like, you have to be willing to take up the chance of someone not liking something, because it shows if it does work, or if it doesn't work, and if it does, then it works, and if it doesn't, then who cares, and if one person stops you from stopping your entire dreams, and fuck that person,
well, I mean, if they are successful in stopping the dream, it probably wasn't your dream.
True, yeah.
I remember that scene in Whiplash. Did you ever watch that?
Oh yeah.
Did you ever? Yeah, okay. So there's a point where they're talking after the fact, after all the crazy scenes where Fletcher is throwing shit at him and everything. They meet up in a bar. And at this point, the teacher, the abusive teacher, is fired. And his student comes in and he sees him playing with the jazz band and everything. And they talk about his methods of teaching, right? And what he says to him is, or the student asks Fletcher, the teacher, what if you go too far, right? What if Charlie Parker was, he was discouraged from becoming Charlie Parker because his teacher, his band, was too hard on him. And then the teacher says, then he wasn't meant to be Charlie Parker then. You know what I mean? Charlie Parker is not going to be discouraged from being one of the greatest. You know, you just practice, you keep going and everything. Which, even though it's very radical in that film, what they're doing, I understand the sentiment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
also, that film is amazing.
It's one of the best of the last decade.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, oh god. Oh my god, I love that film so much.
I forgot, it's T.J. Miller, correct?
who?
The main...
No, Miles Teller.
Miles Teller.
T.J. Miller. He's the guy from Deadpool. Who plays Weasel.
Yeah.
Imagine that guy.
Oh my god. No, Miles Teller, ever since I saw that film, I was like, I always want to see his career go more and more. And then, like, 21 and Over, I was like, all right, that's a good film. And then, like, other films started coming out and stuff like that, his military films. And then new Top Gun, which I haven't seen yet. Everyone keeps telling me it's good.
I have yet to see it also.
I kind of am reluctant from watching it, because I feel like, yeah, I'm sure it's like a good 80s film, but it's also like, I don't know. Watching Top Gun, like the original, I wasn't like moved by it. Like I see how it's cool, but like I'd rather watch RoboCop or like Terminator or like something like that isn't so cheesy and so 80s.
Wait, hold on a second. RoboCop isn't
cheesy
in 80s,
but like it's cool, you know?
I mean, it's great. RoboCop is great, but it is very. I mean, that's a satire. You know, that is a satire on society and everything. It's just a really comic book, almost a comedy at some points in terms of the gore. Even though it's very disturbing. Yeah. Especially when Murph gets like all shot up for the first time. And
then that mercenary who gets bathed in the acid bath.
Yeah, but that's also kind of funny.
It is funny. He walks out. No.
You should do that for Halloween. Brian.
Oh my god. I could not make that. That would be so insane. I mean, I've seen people like do crazy stuff for like costumes and stuff, but like,
I'm not talking about a costume. I'm talking
go into an actual that.
I'll hook you up.
Oh, thank you. I'll be Bane. I ordered the steak years ago.
Oh man, no one cared who I was until the acid bath.
You told me you didn't want to see Joshua turn into a young man.
Get the mask on.
get the mask.
Yeah. Oh man. But it's been good. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've been wanting to podcast for a while. I mean, it's been a long time. Thank you. It's been a long time. Since I've actually recorded something new and gotten back into the rhythm, the stretching of these types of muscles and everything. The closest thing I've had is talking to myself at work, you know? And it's sad.
People come in out of nowhere like, what is this guy? Who is he talking to?
Why is he talking about the fact that there's a missing in action too? Like, what's wrong with him?
What if? What is that?
What if? No, I'm not going to listen to your podcast, dude. I really need business cards.
Yeah, you
business
do.
Cards.
Yeah, business cards.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking about making band T-shirts and band stickers.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah,
that would be good.
I think stickers is cool.
I would buy. I mean, as you can see on my laptop here, I have stickers.
You rock with stickers.
I'll get some stickers of yours.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah,
no charge.
I was gonna say I'll just give you this.
No charge.
Now you gotta pay for it. No. Actually, you know what? The case that you have for your guitar back there, I have one similar for mine, and I've been dedicating myself to like every place where I go, I'm gonna buy a sticker there. So I have one from Hawaii, I have one from Vegas, I have one from Good Springs, Nevada, and then I even have a Tahoe sticker on there too.
You know what's funny is that I was talking yesterday to Andrew, and I think Jacob.
Oh, okay.
And we were talking about you, and how we were talking about how you
nervous.
It's nothing bad. It's just like we were talking about how you travel. Yeah. You know what I mean? You like they were talking about. They said, "Man, Brian was telling me that he just got back from Hawaii. He went to Lake Tahoe last year and went to this place and this place. That motherfucker. Why is he traveling so much? What do I have to do to get traveling with him? They want to travel with you.
They do want to travel with us?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
if you pay for it all, you know.
I can't pay for everyone.
Why not?
I pay the majority, but like I can't pay for everything.
Brian, okay, I'm gonna establish something for the listeners.
For the listeners, sorry, cool.
Brian is wealthy, okay?
I'm not wealthy. I'm so
he's
poor.
Rich. He is rich. Where do you go to school?
I go to UCLA.
Okay, all right. So don't tell me.
No, I go there for my Cal
Do
grant,
not
so
tell me.
It's free.
I'm trying to educate you right now. This is how capitalism works. You pay for it all. We reap the benefits of your payment, okay? So why don't you just... I don't want to hear all this Red Dead Redemption 2.
Sounds like Joseph Stalin's fucking communism.
Don't you...
You get the bread, and I eat it. You die, and I put you in a low red book.
Don't you mean our vacation, Brian?
No, but like...
Just pay for it all. Just pay for it all.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, should I answer?
Answer what?
Your question about Andrew and Jacob joining us?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Well,
no, they might listen. I'm the only person who listens to this type of stuff.
Be
okay?
quiet. I've been listening all night with the Suicide Squad, the Snyder Cut, and I love how Angel he's like getting me on each question, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just didn't like it. It was boring. No. No. To answer that question, for anyone who wants to join up and hang out with us, and for
email me at
and for Jacob and
the real Brian Curiel,
for Jacob and Andrew and all our other friends, right? The reason why for trips and stuff is that Hawaii was a very private matter, and that was someone invited me and was going to pay for me, so I went there because they paid for me.
Right.
To be honest, I didn't want to go to Hawaii. I'm actually very afraid of the ocean.
Such a
no.
hipster. Oh my god.
No, I'm very afraid of the ocean and also afraid of heights. So that was like the two worst things to go there was you had to go on a plane above the ocean for 5 hours.
This is a trick.
No,
this is a trick.
Not.
This is for the one possible woman listening to this saying, you know something, ladies? I wanted to pass up the trip to Hawaii.
Oh my god. No, I didn't want... No. To be honest, my mom was like, you should go to Hawaii.
You should. Yeah, you should. Yeah.
And I did go to Hawaii, and it was very fun. I mean, we had like a really horrible experience there, but like otherwise from that, it was fine. You know, I like being discriminated for like my body. It's awesome. So I was
in Hawaii.
In Hawaii. Well, I was discriminated.
With Samoans, like those are big dudes.
No, I was discriminated because I was disabled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right. So for those who don't,
that's understandable.
Yeah. For those who don't know, I'm disabled. I won't say particularly.
You don't have to.
But I'm disabled. Legally, I am. Even though I don't look disabled, I am. I kind of don't act like I'm disabled. But this one particular moment was we had a group of people with us, and they were in our car, and they were also disabled, but more disabled than me. They had diabetes, and they were walking in canes, and they were elderly.
It was more of work to get them around.
Yeah. And so obviously people who are elderly and people who have much more worse health conditions have to stop by, use the restroom, and take their medication.
Yeah.
So it took us a little bit of some time to get to our destination. Now, the place that we were going to has a sort of reservation spot, right?
Of course.
That's not because of spacing. That is purely due to COVID. Because that was a rule that they implemented for COVID, so they can.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant like Indian reservation spot in Hawaii.
The Rev.
I was so confused.
No, but the reservation spot was for a black beach, right? And it was a beach that had black sand.
Black sand, right?
Beach, yeah.
Beautiful.
No, it was awesome. Very nice and actually really soft. All the pebbles are really like. I don't know if it's because of like the current of the ocean and it makes the rocks like slide against themselves, but it feels like you're putting your hand in Play-Doh.
Yeah, I think there's a black sand beach down in San Diego that I visited. There is, I visited there one. It's near that famous hotel, right?
Indeed.
Yeah, and that's actually they filmed a Marilyn Monroe film.
Yeah,
there,
and actually, funny enough, we stayed at that hotel the one trip that you didn't.
The one trip I didn't go on. Yeah.
It's fine. Hey, don't worry, we're going to San Diego again.
Well, I'm ready. I'm taking the train. You guys can drive.
Oh my god,
there.
I actually do want to take the train.
I took the train there.
No, I took the train time. My grandma took me one time. On the Amtrak when I was 10 years old.
It's great.
We did a little trip there. We just took the train so we could get pizza and come back home.
To San Diego?
Yeah.
Which part of San Diego?
Del Mar.
Is that the Italian area?
Yes,
the Little Italy,
little shopping area, and then the Little Italy. Yeah, so Del Mar is like right next to Coronado. Well, it's actually closer to La Jolla and right next to the very fancy.
Oh, okay. I went to Old Town,
which
is like a cowboy.
Yes.
Kind of. the mission and everything. So it's beautiful.
Very beautiful place. Yeah, San Diego is a very hidden gem.
Well, I mean, it's wait. What do you mean?
Well, like it's one of the
most popular places in California.
You know what I mean? Like it's hidden gem. And
there's Comic-Con is happening there. Right now.
Wait, it's happening right now?
Well, it's I think it's this coming week.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. But you know what I mean, like San Diego, like it's beautiful and it's cool and it's very popularized, but like a lot of the locals know like the best spots to go.
Yeah,
so, like,
that's true.
It's a hidden gem to like actually like go to those spots and be like, "Oh man, this place is awesome" for like the small private items,
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, back to the Hawaii thing.
You got discriminated against.
Yeah. So we took 2 cars. One car was with all the people who were disabled, and the other car was with people like children and 2 women who were able-bodied, right?
Right.
One of the cars with the women with the children is a state citizen. So according to Hawaiian state law, people who are state citizens or people who live there do not have to have a reservation. They just can go in the park for as long. People with a reservation only have a 2-hour window period. So when we got there, they said, "Oh, we missed our window period," and I believe we missed our window period by an hour, which isn't really much of a lot. And may I remind you, the rules is that the reservation is not for spacing. It is purely to stop the spread of COVID or to limit the amount of people and guests. So when we got there, we were like, well, it took us a while, and this beach is on the side of a mountain. When we got there, we were
like a high side?
Well, like a low, but it's like,
well, I mean, it goes
meeting
high water,
and then
right?
it goes very low and stuff like that. But this is like right next to a mountain. It's like going to Big Sur and then the beach is on the side.
Right.
It's like there's like no cities. There's like no rest stops. It's like almost being in the desert, and like there's like a small gas station,
Okay.
And so when we get there, my mom is trying to convince them to at least let us in for the last hour that we have. And they told us no, we couldn't. And my mom was very fair with the argument, and she said, "That's fine. Can we at least drop off the people who are elderly who did have a reservation for that time?" They told us no. And my mom was like, "That's weird. We're not staying. We're just going to drop them off." And they said, "No, in fact, you have to leave the park." And my mom said, "Well, can we at least wait for our other party so that they could go to the beach?" "No, we don't have any waiting stops. You have to go back to your hotel."
Oh my God.
So this is a 3-hour drive to get here. There is no other spots, and we are on basically nowhere.
Yeah.
And they told us we had to go back.
Jeez.
So my mom got really upset, very reasonably, and said, "No, we have 2 disabled people. We can't go back to a hotel that is 3 hours away. That's just impossible. These people have diabetes. Like, they need to eat food, and they need to do this." And they said, "No, you need to leave or we're going to call the police."
Okay.
So my mom got really upset. She got out of her car, and she was like, "All right, let me talk to your manager."
I've seen this.
Yeah. So she became Karen, but we have a term. We like to call her Karina.
Karina?
My mom is Hispanic.
Yeah, I was wondering what was the Hispanic version of the...
Karina. Karina. And so I guess a little kid came by. I think she was like barely older than us. I think she was 18 or 19. And she says,
I am older. For the record, I am not 18 or 19.
No, yeah, you're 30.
Yeah, right. 47 children in 45 countries.
But no, she came by and she was like, "Oh, I'm the manager and you're going to deal with me." And I wasn't here for this part because I kind of was tuning this out because I was a bit embarrassed, like, not for my family, but for like these people who are like...
And just the situation.
Young children. It's like, these are old people. Like, that's weird. Like, I would understand if we're like young teenagers making a muck, but like these are like elderly people who are sick and need to eat food. Like, you can be... There's disabled parking. Like, the funny thing, we can see there's parking spaces. Like, there's like, I think there's 10 or 15 cars that day in like a parking lot of 20 to 30 spaces. So like there was space. So we decided, you know what, we're going to drive in anyways. And all the girls and all the people who were there who were workers were running and following our car.
Oh my God.
As we were going.
Chasing you?
Yeah, they were chasing us, yeah. To the point where they had this one guy, the only guy worker there. It was funny. He stopped right in front of the car with the children and in the state allowed car.
Yeah.
My mom told me, "Get out of the car and go in their car because you're going to see the beach." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I got my car and they said, "No, get in your car now." And I was like, "No."
How so?
They were cussing at her, and then they were like, "We're gonna call the police right now, and then you're gonna get kicked out." And so my mom was like, "No, I'm not." And so she took her car, and I guess the woman who owned the state park came out. And here was the funny thing: she didn't work for the state; she was a contractor.
Okay.
So it's like a little bit less of authoritarian, and they don't really know the law as much as a state person knows.
Right.
And so my mom was like out here like a legal person. She was like, "Did you know that your park is not ADA compliment? I believe that's
a compliment.
A compliment, yeah. And she said, "No, we are. We have a wheel ramp
or complimentary.
Yeah, complimentary." And she was like, "Oh, we have a wheel ramp." And she was like, "Yeah,
we're covered.
We're covered." And my mom was like, "No, that's not what it means, because there's a difference between ADA, spirit of the law, and letter of the law. Mm-hmm. The letter of the law is specifically what is stated in the law. The spirit of the law is what events and what is the actual story that led up to this law, and what's the purpose of the law being instigated." Mm-hmm. So, for instance, if you made a law where people had to wear glasses and stuff like that, why do people have to wear glasses and stuff like that?
So she brought up essentially the context of why this law is in place.
And so the woman had the audacity. I was here for this part. I walked to my mom's car making sure she was safe, because she told me to leave her, and I didn't want to leave my mom alone in a strange place.
Yeah, of course.
I went back to my mom, and this woman said the most rudest thing of all time, and it made me feel so sad to be like someone who is disabled in like this environment. She said, what my mom told her was, "We have women and children who are disabled, and they need time, and it took us time to get here. Oh, you should have just woke up earlier to drove over here."
Oh, jeez.
And I was like, "Woman, do you not know?" Like, of course we did. We woke up at 10 and we got there at 1:30. Like, that is a far drive.
Of course,
They wanted us to get there at like 12. So like, it was a lot.
You know, the thing is, the moral of the story is that
don't go to Hawaii.
Don't go to Hawaii, and you specifically are praying that it just either gets fired, the state is fired, or excommunicated.
Can we switch Hawaii with Puerto Rico? Or can we get Puerto Rico as a state?
Or Brazil,
and
then or it just voluntarily secedes from the United States.
Yeah, but
you're hoping for a civil war. Against
but
Hawaii.
It made us really upset, and well, it made me more upset because it was a lot of. I hate using like the term ableist and like talking about disability stuff.
Right.
But like
I've
when people
that
say
also.
that, to be honest, I think it's more of a worse problem for me. Because, like, even though I'm white-looking and stuff like that, and I'm Hispanic, I never really faced, like, a lot of racism. But I did face a lot of ableism in my life. And it's weird just to see, like, a mature woman who's, like, 60 or 50 say something so weird and so out of context. But she gave up. My mom won the argument, and we got inside the park, and we stayed for an extra 3 hours.
Oh, well,
but we were followed the entire time, which I did not like.
Well, it sounds like you guys pulled yourself up by your bootstraps.
We definitely did.
You made your way through the country of Hawaii. Because it's now a country, because they run like a dictatorship over there.
But no, and also, like, even though I'm saying this, I want to make sure that not everyone takes this out of context, in the sense of, I don't hate Hawaii. I don't hate people who are Hawaiian. I just
don't like these people.
I dislike a lot of people who preach a lot of tolerance, and then they themselves cannot be tolerant enough to respect people's disabilities. And the funny thing is, my mom, when she talked with the woman who lives there, she said, "Oh, you should have not done that." My mom was like, "Why?" The woman who lives there told her that a lot of Hawaiians who are native really hate outsiders, and it's almost expected to be treated with such disrespect, and you're supposed to kiss up to them.
The outsider is expected to kiss up
to natives.
Okay.
Yeah, which is, I understand in a weird way, but I also think it's weird and disrespectful.
It is. I mean, it is a big tourist spot.
It is a very big tourist spot. Yeah.
So I could see that, like, they're just getting tired of people.
No, I can see how people are tired of other people's shit. But
still,
I can't see how people could be so rude to someone who is disabled.
Right, yeah.
Like, I understand people. Like, I understand if we weren't and we were just being rude and was like, no, we need to get inside and stuff like that. I can see that.
Of course, right.
But, like, we weren't. We were late by, like, an hour. We had children and we had people who were elderly who had diabetic medication and a walker.
Yeah.
And a cane. People who can't walk well. I mean...
Do you ever see yourself going back to Hawaii?
No, I don't.
Never.
I really don't like Hawaii now. That really made a bad taste on my mouth. And I knew Hawaii was racist and very xenophobic in that regard.
Are they a
prior.
red state?
No, they're a blue state. The reason why is because, you know, it is a tourist place. And a lot of Hawaiians, or at least a lot of people that I've seen on, like, forum pages or, like, videos and stuff, or documentaries... they don't like it because they feel like they're like toys, or like they feel like they're Disneyland and they're not
like their
respected.
culture.
Yeah, like their
I could
culture,
see
like
that.
or actually sad when we went to Hawaii, we did a luau, and I told my mom, let's try to do like a get invited to one versus buy one.
Right.
And she said, no, let's just buy one. So we bought one, and our waitress didn't like us. She was very weird with us. She said like a lot of stuff that was referring to us like being outsiders and like like saying a lot of weird stuff and like acting really like closed off to us until we started talking about how like we like Hawaii and how I might want to move out here and go to school and university here and do marine biology. My mom would like to teach her. And then she opened up to us saying like, oh my God, you guys would want to come out here and make sure this place is fixed and improve upon the culture and not take away. And at that moment we knew when she said take away that it's not about that they just hate people. It's that they have such a weird culture surrounding that everyone is an outsider that they view they're just going to take versus like give back and help.
Like similar to gentrification.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Los Angeles is dealing with that problem.
Yeah, we definitely are. Yeah.
You know, it was in the area that you and I live in.
Yeah, definitely.
I would say it's beginning in the area that you and I live in.
Yeah.
It's happened.
It's happened
in other places.
Yeah.
Like Highland Park, the Arts District is another aspect. You know, it's funny because I went to the Arts District one time with Justin and David.
Ooh.
And we were taking photos. And, you know, we're just chilling. We're taking photos and everything. And it is, I'm going to be honest, with years of reflection, it is kind of a hipster thing to do.
It really is.
But
you guys literally went to the art district to take photos.
But it's of
you're the problem.
But it's of Justin. It's of Justin. So it's like literally not that. You know what I mean? Like it's
I see what you mean. It's not
like
portraits. It's not like
it's not. We're not like promoting anything. It's just friend photography.
Yeah.
And we're in this area where the lighting is nice and everything. I have David's camera in my hand. I'm taking photo of Justin, and there's this older guy who you can tell has lived in the area for a while.
Yeah.
And he comes up and he walks up to us, passing by, like a little drive-by comment. And he comes by and he says, "Oh, look at this. Look at what we have here. We got some more gentrifiers, buying everything, taking photos of everything." And, you know, I was just standing there. I was just like, I'm not camera. I'm telling you what's happening. You know, like, I don't know what's happening.
Trying to film a secret movie.
a little porn.
Oh my God.
Starring Justin.
And
yeah, no, he just kept on walking. It was like a comedy moment where he just keeps on walking and yelling at the top of his lungs.
It's like an NPC in Skyrim.
It really was. He got an arrow in the knee and everything.
You, your sweetbread, huh? Crying back to your mommy.
I haven't had to deal with hipsters like you since an arrow in the knee got me. But he's on his way, still yelling, and David, next to me, yells at the top of his lungs back at the guy. Looks like someone's got a stick up his ass. And then what happens is this guy hears it, and then this guy starts coming back. He's like, "What was that? What was that?" And I'm just like, "Oh, wait, man, we don't want any trouble.
Yeah.
We don't want any trouble." Because I don't know what this guy...
that guy...
I don't know what he has. I don't know what he's going to do. You know, maybe he's got a gun, a knife, or something.
Who knows?
Who knows? You never know in L.A.
You never know.
In
Especially
downtown
in LA.
Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah.
In downtown?
You guys brought your lives. You took them when you went there.
We sold our souls.
You saw...
We sell our souls whenever we get off the metro.
The metro.
In
you
downtown.
sell your soul when you get in the metro.
Well, actually, when you enter Union Station,
Union.
specifically, you sell your soul automatically.
Yeah.
You know, but the guy starts coming back at us. he starts yelling, "What was that? Which one of you said that? What was it? You? Was it you?" And I'm just like, "Hey man, we don't want any trouble." And then I could see David. He's about to get revved up. He's like, "Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, bro." And I was just like, "No, we don't want any trouble." And yeah, because this guy, after the benefit of hindsight, has a fantastic. He's in the right. He's right. I mean, if you go look at the Arts District in Los Angeles, or I guess that way, downtown Los Angeles. I was pointing east when I should be pointing west.
The right direction.
Yeah, but he had a completely accurate point. He was completely justified in how he felt and what he was looking at. Probably fed up and everything, because if you look at where the Arts District is and what it's next to, it is like right next to Skid Row, for example, which is a very rundown area. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's
wild. It's sad. It hurts my heart.
Yeah,
to see so much.
When the city doesn't do anything about it. It doesn't.
We'll spend millions on a new apartment complex that will take 8 years to build, and then by the last year we built 60%, and then
I don't know. I mean, they're trying to. Well, they're trying to invest a lot in public transportation.
Yeah.
Like the Gold Line and the Underline railroads, like that Musk is trying to do and everything. But I mean, I don't.
It's fine to a certain degree, but then we gotta look at like what the real problem is.
Of course, that's an element of it, but it's not the complete solution.
It's not housing.
It's not housing.
It's not housing.
It's houses these people need, man.
And then even looking now in El Sereno, I don't know if you heard about the new housing project.
Where is it?
It'll be happening soon. I think they're making new homes in that big area that's like near my house.
Is it the
empty lot?
Is it the lot where it's now
covered?
fenced off?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a big lot on Huntington in El Sereno where it's now fenced off, but beforehand there was a lot of tents and everything.
Yeah.
There's a whole community of tents and people who were just trying to live, not live. They were trying to survive.
Yeah, and then it got cut off.
They got when that the homeless bill was pushed through.
Yeah,
like we're gonna sweep people off the streets. It became barren.
Yeah,
and it was fenced off. And it was crazy looking at. So they're building houses there.
Well, they are.
What are they doing there?
Would you like to know?
Yeah,
Julius?
I want to know.
Would you like to know more?
I want to know.
What they're doing is they're going to be putting in a new bill to put in new housing, right? But that housing is only going to be related towards people who can buy into the housing. So, for instance, it'll be at the buyer's market, which will be like $1 million or $800,000. So no one local will be able to buy these percentages.
Right.
Gentrification.
Well,
the other thing is that I told you about this. I might buy my house soon, and I found out that I can't.
You cannot.
I cannot.
Is it because of the price?
No, not because of the price. They added in a new law that if let's say a pre-existing tenant, my mom, who has lived there for a certain amount of years, and they decide to give it to their child or to another member, me, that other member has to have lived there for an extra 5 years.
So in 5 years,
with paying. So I've only lived there with pay for 2 years right now.
Okay.
So they just changed that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I always wondered why you were paying to live there.
Yeah.
It's because you can buy it at some point.
Yeah. And prior we've believed.
Right.
And the law was that even if I was paying for no matter how many years, 1 to 20, as long as my mom was going to leave, then I could get the house for 20%. I believe its original price.
Okay, so you're
very first deal.
So you're gonna be there for another 3 years paying, or are you just
that's
gonna
the
be
other
looking
problem
at other
is that they send in a new they just send in a letter saying they'll be selling the houses by the end of this summer.
Selling the houses you live in?
Yeah.
So what is
so we gotta find a new home, or we gotta fight.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So what are you doing now? Are you looking for other places?
Yeah. My mom is really stressed out. I'm stressed out. We are facing a problem of either becoming homeless or finding a new place. So we'll see.
Where have you looked into?
Yeah, we've been looking at places in Huntington Beach, or like places that are a little bit cheaper, a little bit more redder. So that,
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know. This is an exclusive.
Exclusive interview.
I'm about to be homeless.
Crime. Money.
Oh my god. Well, see, if Sebastian were here, you know what he would say.
Oh my god. What would he say?
He'd say,
Brian,
say, this is capitalism.
Oh my god.
At work. Oh my god! Well, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Is what it is.
You should look in the San Gabriel area, or Alhambra.
Yeah. Well, right now we're looking in
East.
Right now we're yeast. Right now we're looking at Azusa, and we're looking at Huntington Beach, and then we're also looking at I forgot what it is. It's where my grandpa lives at. It's
Here, speak up.
It's where my grandpa lives at. I forgot where it's at. I think it's like in the valley. No, not in the valley. It's like on your way.
Don't tell me it's the valley, dude.
No,
the valley's nasty.
No, not the valley. No.
They do porn and karate in the
my
valley.
God. Hey, remember when we went to Oh no, you weren't there. I forgot. It was my birthday. But no.
This would probably be before I knew you.
Yeah. No, you knew me. It's just I invited you to my birthday in
Here, come closer to the mic.
Arrowhead, and then you.
Oh well, dude. Okay, so I didn't know you.
Yeah.
Let's establish that very quickly.
You knew me in class.
I knew. Okay. Sidetrack till we get back to the valley. Let's talk about Arrowhead. I've known Brian for a couple of years at this point.
3 years.
Sorry?
3 or 2 years.
3 or 2 to 3 years.
Actually, 3 years.
A number of years.
Yeah.
I've known Brian.
Years.
Years plural.
Years.
And I like Brian a lot. He's a good guy. He's a good kid and everything.
B12.
Right.
Your vitamin.
Right. So he's a supplement. so Brian. So essentially, I met Brian in school. In a math class, and Brian was a very sociable guy because he was loud and just talk during class, and he and I started talking about, I think it was about the Joker.
It was about the Joker,
yeah, because it was coming out at the time.
It was coming out.
We were excited about it, and we had to do these presentations with people near us, go in front of the class, and we would talk about just who we are, what we're excited for, and I just awkwardly plugged that Joker was coming out. I was just like, I'm so excited for Joker coming out, guys. Who's with me? And it's just like silent.
When Julius said that, I thought he was a 30-year-old man.
Well, hold on. Let me get to that. So what happens is Brian says that he's excited for Joker. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This guy, I don't even know this guy. How old is this guy? He looks like a child. He was a child.
I was a child, yeah.
What happens is we start talking throughout the class. I convince him that I'm like in my mid-30s at the time, and then I have children.
Yeah, you want to tell the folks how old I was?
You were
17.
17 years old.
17 years old.
It's crazy. It's awkward now. Makes me feel weird.
Yeah.
Thank God you're like above the age. You're just.
I'm 20 now.
We're good now. But I convinced him that I was in my mid-30s.
Yeah.
And he believed it for a whole year of us knowing each other.
Yep.
Until my birthday of the next year. Because this was the year before COVID, before the pandemic.
Yep.
So your birthday, or it was your birthday.
It was my birthday, yeah.
That we started to actually hang out in person.
My birthday caused COVID.
Yeah, it did. Your birthday, October 2019, caused everything wrong in the world.
Yes.
So what happens is I tell him, I forgot the original reason why I was telling the story, but I tell him my actual age at the time, and then he's like, what the fuck? You're not in your you don't have children?
No, I knew you didn't have kids, but you told me your age when I met. All right, so me and Julius officially became, I guess, friends or better friends during the beginning of COVID. Because Julius hit me up and was like, hey, do you want to do voice recordings and do you want to do
a podcast?
Podcasts on Zoom? And I said, hell yeah. And then around October for my new birthday, I invited Julius over so we can go shooting and go hang out.
And it was a lot of fun.
It was very fun. And by that time, I still believe Julius was either 30 or like 28 or 29. Then October 31st, on a Halloween, it is Julius's birthday. I forgot, did I invite you over or did you said you wanted to come over?
I had nothing to do that day. So
okay.
I came over.
So what happened was me and Sebastian were hanging out and we didn't know what to do for Halloween. And we were like, hey, let's see if Julius has anything.
Yeah.
And we invited Julius over, and Julius was like, oh, yeah, it's my birthday. I turned 23.
20, yeah.
And I was like, wait, what? You're 23? And that was the moment. It took a whole year for Julius to tell me his age, and it was on his birthday. And I skipped his other birthday. I skipped his 22nd because you didn't let me know.
You look awful. No, but the original reason I was telling this story is because Brian invited me to his birthday. within a week of us like knowing each other, and it was us going to. The idea
Arrowhead.
would be going to Lake Arrowhead.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't even remember Brian's name when he invited me. I was just like, oh, okay. I think I have some studying to do. I'm sorry, Brian. Because I didn't know you. I didn't know you at the time. You know, I mean, I appreciate the invite, and it worked out at this point. But still.
You know what? What's his name? Elijah or...
Elias.
Elias.
See, you don't even remember this kid.
It's been a while. I haven't spoken with Elias. Well, Elias went. Elias was committed.
Yeah, and look what... That's what would have happened if I went. At this point, you know?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you'd forget my name.
Yeah, at the time I called Julius, because it was too hard for me to say his name more, and I called him Jesus.
Yeah, everyone was calling me that.
Yeah.
Around that time. Yeah.
And then like I forgot when did I start calling you Julius?
I don't know. Probably when we got back in contact.
Yeah. Probably.
You know that was a fun little phase.
That was a really
Jesus.
Fun, yeah. I was like, hey, it's Jesus. And I remember one time you looked at me and we were talking, and I think it was Melissa or the guy from the army who was like, oh, did you know that Iraq is better than New York City? And I think they looked at me and were like, that's not Jesus. And they looked really concerned.
That's another story.
Yeah. I love that guy. Imagine being in the military and thinking that New York City is dangerous and worse than Iraq, Pakistan, and war-torn countries. Yeah, New York City is dangerous. Yeah, what? You're not a soldier. I'm taking your stripes away.
Hey, man, if I go to a cafe and they burn my coffee, I have to either get a refund or just stick to the burnt coffee. That's bad.
That's bad.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man, you think that eating no food in...
You know, it is dangerous for bike messengers.
Shut up. Joseph Gordon-Levitt proved...
You know how many bike messengers in New York get shrapnel on a daily basis?
Do you know how many bagels there are?
How many bagels?
None.
Where?
Because everyone took them. No. There's more bagels in Iraq than there is in New York.
I think I might commute there.
I might go there.
You should look there for a new home.
You know what? I was watching a Vice documentary.
And
I think it was Iraq or Iran, right? And I think... I want to make sure I do this right. Oh my god. I think it was Iraq. Hopefully it's Iraq.
Okay.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Look, just admit that you might be wrong.
All right, cool.
Just so I'm
gonna be wrong. I forgot which country. But it was one of those two. And I was talking about like how
one of the big eyes.
it was talking about like how they had an influx of saffron. So like all their foods are very rich, but also cheap in a weird way. Like a lot of their it was this guy, and it wasn't some Vice. It was this guy who's a food reviewer, and he goes around the world and reviews like the most foods, right? And he went to one of the places where he went to one of the companies where they paid his entire trip, and I think they gave him like $1 million to like represent their name. But they're a really big chain over there, and it's like a chip, burger, 7-Eleven, ice cream place all in one.
Wow!
It like serves everything.
They just
and it's like and they serve oil there too. It's insane. Like,
oil?
Yeah,
oil like for your car.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Like they're a big contributor of oil, saffron, chips, food, and like a lot of big goods, and they like control basically the entire small town.
I wonder how much the gas is over there compared to us.
I wonder. Yeah, I mean, we might be the most expensive gas in the world. Probably not though. You know, Hawaii's pretty cheap.
I bet. Yeah, there's barely anyone there.
Hawaii is like when I checked there, Hawaii was $4.
Well, there's definitely less people in Hawaii than there are in California.
Definitely, yes. It's California is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, even if it is a big tourist spot, people are always coming and going, but
yeah,
that's why they can keep the gas prices so cheap, you know?
My mom was kind of funny. When we got there, she rented an electric car thinking that there would be a lot of electric stations.
No.
Oh my god, there was none. And I was like, we should have bought a truck. Because everyone looked at us, they were like, why don't you have an electric car? You're not going to carry anything. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, I know. My mom thought it'd be smart because she thought Hawaii had like electric towers everywhere.
Well, I mean, if they have like a gas station every like 300 miles or something, they're going to have less electric spots.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like they're like We're on an island.
Yeah.
We're not worried about air pollution or barely
Dude,
anyone
the
here.
papayas there are really good.
I bet.
And
the pow pow fruit. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, I was playing Kingdom Hearts.
I know.
And by the way,
I know,
the screen is still on.
I know. It's
just despite
we've been talking
Brian.
for 2 hours. That's what it says on your,
And Hawaii's been in the
game.
background.
Hawaii's been on the game, yeah. Dude, that's how I look like in Hawaii.
Yeah, so for that, this is going to be real quick before we wrap it up. I bought Kingdom Hearts, the story so far, for the PS4, which is all the games up until 3. And I started playing it just despite Brian. Because Brian got me Red Dead Redemption 2 for my birthday.
For his birthday.
For that birthday where
For
he
that
found out my
birthday,
age.
yeah. It's been 2 years and you haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2.
Look.
I'll take it back. I will take it
No,
back.
don't take it back. I'm
I'll
going to
play
play
it
it
myself.
I'm going to play it. Here's the thing. Look, Brian, let's clear up the air right
cool.
now.
Clear up the air.
Okay? Before we quit, because I have to use the restroom. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a long game.
Kind of.
It's a big game.
Well,
it's an open world game. It's a Rockstar game.
Yeah, it's a Rockstar
So
game.
it's an investment of time. You know what I mean? It is. It's an investment of time. And the way I know this, not even by playing any of it, the way I know it is by you telling me that you can, collect cigarettes.
Cigarette cards.
There you go.
From
So
smoking packs.
that told me everything I needed to know that this would take a while to get into. And I've been very busy. I've been in the restroom. I've been
half of my day is in the restroom. I live there.
I've not been having a job. I got a job.
Yeah.
I promise you, I will play it.
All right.
I want to play it.
I will
but
let
I've
you
just
know.
been so big, and as you can tell, Kingdom Hearts has
just
re-entered
been
my life.
watching.
This is the first time in my life that I've owned all the games of Kingdom Hearts to catch up on.
Nice.
Because it's a convoluted.
I feel like
series.
that, but with Mass Effect.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And we all have our thing.
Yeah.
Mass Effect is your thing.
Yeah.
And this is mine.
Sora.
Walking
on Hawaii.
Walking on Hawaii.
Well, I'll let you know for the Red Dead Redemption, even though I did make it seem like it's a lot. When I did do my first playthrough, it took me a full week. So.
Okay, see, I'm not going to have just a full week to play.
Yeah,
so it's going to take time.
A month, yeah.
A month or months. I'm a busy guy.
A month.
Well,
here's the thing. If you want to... The problem is, I'm a completionist. So, like, when I talk about video games, I'm the worst person to talk about video games with. Because I like to complete everything. I like to get every single dialogue. I like to get every single weapon. I like to get every single item. Every single clothing item. I have the time for that. I know other people don't.
You don't even have the time. You go to
I know.
UCLA.
I barely have the time for that. But when I do, I have the time.
Homeless soon.
No, that's true. Oh my god. But
it's just dawning. Wow, it's funny because a couple days ago you told me that you were gonna buy your house, and I made a little joke of, "Hey man, let me move in." He's like, $200 a month, and now I'm hit with this news of, oh my god, he's leaving. Where's he going?
Who knows?
Hawaii.
Oh god, I'd rather die than go to Hawaii. No offense. I don't want to be discriminated every day. But no, it'll take you a month, I think, if you want to just play through. But if you want to do everything, it will take you a couple months.
Well, Brian, look, here's the deal, okay? If I let you move in here,
yeah,
you can play it on my behalf.
Dude, I would do that.
And that's the rent.
That's the rent? I gotcha. I can get you 100% in a week.
Okay, and then in a week you're out.
I'll span it. I'll play like 1 hour a day. I'm barely moving.
Playing a minute a day.
I'll play a minute.
You're just gonna turn the PS4
I'm gonna turn on. I'm
and then off.
I'm gonna wait for the. And here's the problem: the older consoles. The loading screen takes a while. It takes like a good. It takes like a good 5 or 7 minutes. I'm gonna wait 5 or 7 minutes. I'm gonna see that little screen. My character's gonna come from the bonfire. I'm like, all right, go off.
Oh my god.
That's my rent, Julius.
I was looking to you as the golden egg, or the golden goose. You know
golden
what I mean?
goose.
You're my ticket out of here. and now you need, like, I was Veruca Salt. I want a good egg.
A good egg.
Got the bad egg on me, man.
God. Am I the squirrel now?
I want it now. Now it's like I'm left with an eviction.
Oh my god.
It's disgusting. But Brian, I think that's all the time we have for today. I might see you next week to do another one.
Oh, cool.
Hopefully by then I'll have my other cable to get your own
of course
microphone.
Yeah.
We might have a different venue
Ooh.
Because the Charlie's, the Charlie's Coffee House where I work.
Nice.
We might record there. Ooh. I've done a lot of recording for upcoming projects that Brian and I have been working on this past year for the channel. I'm very excited to talk about more of that. And yeah, I'm excited.
Will we have any guest stars?
Yeah. I plan to have plenty of people on. I plan to have a different show about comic books.
Oh, nice.
Called, I'm debating on titles for that one.
Nerd porn.
Nerd porn. No, I was thinking We Tolerate Comics.
We tolerate. Oh, that's pretty good.
We tolerate comics. But for now, the name of this one is going to be just Ignore This Podcast. You're not going to listen to it anyway. Yeah, that's fine. So we're safe.
If you do listen to it,
thank
do.
you.
Yeah,
thank you for listening.
If you're from Hawaii, I'm sorry, but your people are mean.
You suck. we're bombing you now.
Pearl Harbor was nothing.
Oh, okay. That's where we gotta. Guys, thank you so much for listening.
Yes,
to
thank you.
This podcast. I'm excited for everyone. I'm excited to listen to it at work.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited to sleep to it tonight. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be disgusting. I'm on my way to a concert now. Brian, you're more than welcome to come if you want. The Far Side. The hip hop group The Far Side is playing at Grand Central Park in downtown.
Nice.
I don't know if you're free, but we'll see. And we'll let you know by next podcast. Thank you guys for listening. I'm Julius.
Yeah. I'm Brian.
And goodbye.